Da, 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 da. That's not how the song. Agatha all along. Bomb Squad. Welcome back to Bomb Squad all along. Rein, let's just get, before we get into the episodes, let's just get out and say it. What the fuck? This show is great.
It is, trying to think of an interesting way to say it's great. It's great. It's why are you trying to get me to talk and make me look like an idiot, Tanner? Was that your plan all along? Or all along? And look dumb? I'm having a brain fart right now. Get back to me later.
All right, I'll get back to you later. The show has been unironically great in a way that's very surprising. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that this is the first Marvel show to actually have a showrunner. Maybe has something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe if you make your TV shows like TV shows instead of making your TV shows like movies, good things happen. Who knew?
And then and clearly it shows there hasn't been like a decrease in quality because I'm that mindset of treating it like it still looks better. I mean, hey, it looks better than, I don't know, like Falcon the Winter Soldier or something.
Hey.
Like a long movie.
All shows should end with them defeating the bad guy who was justified. They were just a little too genocidal. And then end with a speech where they go, neoliberalism is the way forward. I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier at the time. I can never rewatch it. I do not think that part would age well for me. That's when, listen, we watched that show right after Biden entered office. We were feeling good at the time.
I was not feeling good, but sure.
I was happy Trump was gone, and I thought to myself, thank God I don't got to deal with that asshole anymore. Oops. We're recording this the day before the election, for the record. Yep. Rein, I guess we'll just get right into it, starting with episode 7, Death's Hand in Mine. Maybe the best episode of the show. Maybe the best MCU TV episode, period. It's definitely up there.
We're on the same page. No, bar none. I don't know if I can think of another singular episode of any of the Disney Plus Marvel things that is at this level. Like, just like works, helps improve a lot of the series. Like, this is going to be probably, on top of being one of the best Marvel things, probably one of the most fun to rewatch too.
Yeah.
Like, most rewarding for that. And I mean, there's so much you can say about it. Yeah, no, I think it's like, I don't know, it's a fun thing when like genre stuff, they'll have like, well, they'll do something as a bit that's so awesome that you could like do a whole movie about this. Like the way they, maybe like if you dug hard enough, you could find sci-fi and fantasy stuff that treated, reading the future, or yeah, like, clairvoyance as like a like in this specific direction. I'm sure it's probably been done before.
It's Arrival. It's kind of like Arrival.
You could do. Oh yeah, that's a good point. But you could do like you could have done a whole movie. You could do a whole series about like someone with this power. Like there's, they do it to, they use that one. That's just a really fun thing, I think. And then they do all this to tell a really nice story about this side character. And that was great. There's a part of me that's like, oh, well, maybe they'll let these two people die at the end of the last episode. I am very glad I was wrong. And also, in retrospect, it's like, well, duh, because they set up stuff with their characters that sort of weren't all the way paid off.
Yeah.
It's a great episode.
Yeah, you had to finish that whole thing. The non-linear storytelling in a way, and the fact that it dips its toes in every other episode so far from her perspective, and we understand why these weird moments she was having were happening now, is all incredibly well done. And you know what? I'm just going to bring it up so we can just talk about it freely now. Near the end of the episode, the thing we knew all along, Aubrey Plaza's death. And even though I knew it was happening, the reveal was still incredible.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I saw some people trying to like joke about the her like look with the half skull face. it looks a little bit silly. Later on we get to see it like more close up, but like in the shadows and stuff, I think it's a really great, like instantly kind of iconic little design. It reminds me a lot of is the name of the movie Darkman, the 90s
Like the Sam Raimi one? Yeah, it's Darkman.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of how his face looks at the end of that, where it's like all teeth and stuff. I'm gonna actually try and put more work into that this time, so I'll actually include a clip of it probably.
Yeah. Well, you won't have to make a deadline like last time when it's like, oh, surprise, the last 2 episodes are airing the same day. We need to get this out ASAP.
Yes, I have no Halloween party to plan for this time. I just have an election to cry about or whatever.
Rein, I want you to understand. I'm probably going to bring this up in both this and the podcast I'm recording today. I'm going to be at a concert tomorrow evening as results start coming in. So my plan is I'm going to be in the pit watching precinct by precinct results come in for Wisconsin. And I'm like, come on, Madison County. Come on, Madison County. And an elbow fucking hits me in the face. It's going to happen to me. I've accepted my fate.
That's a very memorable election night story.
Yeah. I can't wait for it to happen.
Where were we with this?
We're talking about the show. Death is great. This episode is great. The non-linearness of this is great. And her death is done really good. It's a self-sacrifice that felt really earned. Just in general, like, this episode is awesome. Everything about this show is awesome.
Yeah, no, I guess something I'm sure we'll be bringing up, like how we feel about this show, like where the show ranks the other Disney Plus shows. For me, it's tough. I think I still like Loki more overall. But, this is close second, and but yeah, still I don't think there's any individual Loki episode that comes to mind that is as strong as this specific episode.
I will say, as far as, I think the episode of Loki that is the strongest was episode 4 of season 1. The one where he meets like all the other Lokis in the realm. That was probably the best episode of that show.
Yeah.
But Agatha's great. I love this episode. It is the best episode of Marvel television on Disney Plus. Anyway, there are episodes of Daredevil and Jessica Jones that are better than this.
Finished watching finished season 3 of Jessica Jones a little bit ago, and even though it's 2 and 3, definitely not the peak of definitely not at the heights of 1, but it is. I think what I'm trying to say is my new bar for the Disney Plus shows is it better? Is it as good or better than how is it compared to Daredevil and Jessica Jones? Is it near that level? Like I would say Loki and Agatha are, or is it way below that level? Like I'd say like most of them. That is like my new barometer.
I generally like most of the Marvel shows with the exception of Secret Invasion. But God, Secret Invasion sucked. But that being said, like here's the thing. If it's on the general quality level of like Daredevil or Jessica Jones, that's a good sign, but like season 1 of Jessica Jones is like one of the greatest seasons of television ever, in my opinion. And that's the hot take. Everyone always talks about Daredevil season 1 or Daredevil season 3. Jessica Jones season 1 is so fucking good.
Strongly agree. No, I think so. Obviously, in the hierarchy of superhero TV shows, I feel like the Penguin, Jessica Jones season 1, Daredevil like season 1 and probably 3. I'd say those are the gold standard. I would say Agatha, I would say is silver standard. It's
definitely in that solid second tier.
Again, the college basketball versus greatest of GOAT basketball NBA player analogy reference. But anyway, I'm trying to think others besides I guess the death reveal and everything to do with the structure of the clairvoyant storytelling device. Is there any other noteworthy stuff?
The Salem 7 gets dispatched with at the end when she self-sacrifices, which it's not a critique.
It was like
it's not a critique. It was a surprise ending to that subplot. I'm not saying it was like a unsatisfying conclusion. It was just, oh, they resolved this in episode 7. That's surprising, but it makes sense since they just revealed that Aubrey Plaza's death is probably the true antagonist of the show.
No, I liked it. If handled slightly differently, it could have been bad. Because it was done early on. It was also done very cleanly. Like just like whoop, they're gone, they're gone. But I think it worked because it was being done as like the wrap up for the supporting characters arc. I think it worked for that reason. Also, besides like looking kind of cool in that like tree level horror, you're not really afraid of it, but it is kind of creepy sort of way. Like besides that effect, the Salem 7 had, there wasn't really anything else going on with them. They weren't really that deep or interesting otherwise. But those are the two reasons I did not mind the choice to kill them off so quick.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
Like
you said, we have more important stuff with death to resolve and all that.
Yeah. Great episode. I think that generally it's like one of the best episodes of Marvel television ever. Even including the best of Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I would rank it up there among the best. I can't like imagine a specific episode other than maybe the season finale of Daredevil season 3 that's of this quality. But it's great. I hope Agatha, the next season of Agatha All Along, has a long hallway fight in one take. That'll be great. Daredevil season, Born Again, whatever, the Disney Plus show. If there's not a hallway fight, I want my money back.
I'm pretty sure that's like they're legally obligated to do that.
They have to. You can't use a Defender and not do that. All right, well.
Even in She-Hulk, they kind of did it in like a jokey way.
A little bit. Episode 8. Well, episode 8 is Follow Me, My Friend, to Glory at the End. Which, I'll say it. This, I think the reason they dropped both episode 8 and episode 9 on the same day is that this episode actually feels more like the finale of all the plots, while episode 9 is just more of an extended epilogue. Which is fine. That structure's fine. TV shows can do that. Especially a miniseries is allowed to do that. But like most of the plot sort of gets resolved in this episode. You know, the three of them, Billy, Jen, and Agatha, they find out that the road was a circle. They went in a circle. Then they're in this like weird fucking grow light room where they have to figure out what they truly want. And they all figure it out and they escape. And then Death's out there like, oh, Agatha, I want my life. I want your soul. Billy gives her his power, some of his power, and Agatha willingly takes it. They try to fight Death. They can't do it. So Billy's like, let her take me. And Agatha's like, no. And then they go up there and they're like, Billy's like, take me. And Agatha was like, yeah, take the kid. And then when Billy's like, yo, what the fuck? Agatha's like, fine. And sacrifices herself. It's revealed it's all, the road was never supposed to be real. Billy made the road.
No, that, another neat, all neat, solid episode. I think, no, I didn't put much thought when you told me that they were going to release the last 2 episodes on the same day. I didn't put any thought to it. I was like, okay.
They want to get the Halloween show all out before Halloween. That was my mindset. That's why they were doing it that way.
At the end of the episode, it's like, oh, I see. Because like me and my girlfriend were like, oh, I guess it's. Wait, is it done? Wait, no, there's another episode. Yeah, like a lot of people just might have been like, oh, that's the end, clearly. Because on a plot level, everything is kind of wrapped up. It's not really until the last episode that the more emotional and characters type stuff really gets to be resolved. So I guess I don't know. I guess maybe the worst thing you can say about this episode is it's not as good as the one that precedes and the one that comes after it. But
it's probably the weakest in this bunch of 3, but it's still a great episode with. And I left this out of my recap. Rein. We did not lose chess to the dog. Agatha and Death straight up kissed. We beat the dog at chess. We beat the dog at chess.
No, I mean, I expected that it was still going to happen, but it was good to see I don't even know how to play chess, but it's good to know I did not lose chess to a dog.
You don't know how to play chess?
Hey, and when they were filming X-Men 2, neither Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen how to play chess. And once I found that fact out, I was like, well, those two guys at their age and their respectability and greatness is like, if they never learn how to play chess, why do I have to learn how to play chess?
Right. When I visit,
not...
next time we see each other, either like next year or if I visit you in LA, I'm teaching you how to play chess.
I've just never been in a situation where it's like, man, I wish I knew how to play chess.
It's actually very easy to learn.
I know. It's just, I don't feel like, you suck at everything you first start doing.
Don't worry. I've been playing chess for over a decade and I still suck at it. So you're fine.
Yeah. No, they kissed. Very gay show. It's nice that we all the problems the queer community has, at least I guess, as bad as rainbow capitalism is, it's the sign that it exists is better than if it didn't exist. Like the fact that big thing worth millions of dollars.
What are you talking about, Rein? When Agatha and Aubrey Plaza kissed in this show, it ended homophobia, just like when Barack Obama won the presidential election, it ended racism.
It's true. If you look in a textbook or what that talks about like homophobia, it just you don't find it because
it's over. Just like racism is over. Next target, we got to end sexism. And if Kamala Harris wins tomorrow, sexism is over. You heard it here first, folks. This will be, listen, that joke's going to age so horribly if the worst happens and Donald Trump wins. Sexism is, racism is back on, baby.
Yeah, so another thing is, I guess talking about like kind of quick and clean but still satisfying stuff is, I'm terrible with names. The third witch, bald lady, Jen. Yeah, no, I like her resolution. It's a great emotional moment for for a side character. Is that like it's it pulls at the heartstrings. Her being able to get her power back, her gonna get freed. Apparently, she's related to Ghost Rider, so and I like the actress was good. She's very charismatic. It'd be fun to see her pop up again, getting adventures with one of the Ghost Riders doing Ghost Rider stuff.
The next Ghost Rider will be. Hold on, scanning my banks.
They're always talking about like saying like 3 or 4 actors for it.
It's gonna be Jacob Elordi.
I mean,
and he's gonna be doing his Elvis thing from Priscilla.
I mean that.
Hey, little mama, I'm Ghost Rider.
From Texas, that's not too far off from Tennessee. Yes. Sure. Character is that anyway. I like that. I like that. Just we've said it before, but once again, just like great set design too. Great set design. Great.
Oh yeah.
Should have mentioned that. For the last
just
one
really well done. Again, it's like if you make a TV show like a TV show, things are good.
I don't know. It would be amazing to know to think that like now even if people aren't caring as much about the movies. Oh, excuse me. These days, it would be really cool if this was like a sign of like maybe we're about to enter like a new golden age when it comes to like the television department when it comes to Marvel. Very optimistic, probably too optimistic, but not completely out of left field if that happened.
I need to make sure you understand that the next Marvel TV show to come out, Rein, is going to be What If Season 3. But the last Marvel animated thing was X-Men 97, which was, I don't know if you watched X-Men 97, was fucking incredible. Great episode. I like, a lot of people were like comparing it negatively to WandaVision. Sorry. WandaVision finale, I've had 3 years to sit on it. I'm going to say it. Not good. Arguably bad.
No, it's on a level. On a technical level, it's a big step down from like a lot of the flourishes that we saw earlier in that, series.
The character stuff's better. Like,
and then
in Agatha, I mean,
yeah, I was sorry. I was talking about WandaVision, and
I realized that's what I meant. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
And everything with the like we've mentioned before, the way they handle Wanda's like the ethics of
They'll
what
never
Wanda
know
did.
what they sacrificed for you. You enslaved these people for months.
Yeah. Also, little I guess like a kind of minor thing, but I do like Wiccan's outfit. I think it's cool.
It's good. It's a
So I mean, it's
pretty.
pretty.
Like, here, listen. Let's get it out of the way. There is some disappointment to be had with Wiccan's casting. In terms of not in terms of Joe Locke as an actor. I think his performance was great. I'm talking more in terms of representation, but we lost that battle when they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom.
Hey, like I said, I'm very black-pilled. Anything to do with Americans understanding aroma. Your average American thinks aroma is just like a tan Romanian who like living in wagons.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I guess we shouldn't.
Which is, to be fair, I guess is better than your average European's view of Romani. Which
oh my god, they are so racist.
Yes, it's like the meme. Yeah.
Listen, usually Americans are top of the world when it comes to racism, but when it comes to racism against Romani people, the Europeans are running laps around us.
Yeah. No, but Joe Locke. Also, I feel like there should be like a game where it's like take a shot every time you find out this actor who does a good American accent is actually British.
Oh, of course. All our superheroes are British. I didn't know if you knew this, Rein. You're British.
That's true. I'm like 3% English, something I think. So you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, all this comes along, and then Billy's looking around his room, and he realizes, wait a fucking minute, all this shit in the road is in my room, and he realizes he made the road.
It works because it works on like a plot level, a surface level, like world building consistency. Because it's like, well, hey, this is. I mean, it's pretty much just a different flavor of the stuff we see Wanda do. And I thought I had more to say. Sorry, continue.
Slightly less torturous than what Wanda did. But it's a great reveal on the surface level. I think it also brings a lot to the character. Specifically the stuff where it's like, you're so much like your mother, and he's like, oh shit, I am. I basically invented this fantasy for myself, just like Wanda did. Which is interesting.
He's he has the setup for a really great I mean, he already is a solid character, but like there's a lot you can do with him going forward. He's like kind of like when some people will try and argue like Nightwing's a more interesting character than Batman because one of the reasons being like he has the legacy aspect of the character kind of automatically adds some depth to him, and I think you can kind of see that here where with him and his mom. Yes.
Who the fuck is actually trying to argue that Dick goddamn Grayson is more interesting than Bruce Wayne, though?
I don't know how I feel about it, but I've seen good arguments.
Unserious people. My counter argument to that is I don't know how much you can argue a character is more interesting than another character if a crucial aspect of that character is in fact intrinsically tied with the legacy of the former. But then again, I you know what, I'm actually talking myself into it a little bit. That does add some intrigue, I guess. I don't know.
No complaints. One other thing is we were talking about like how are they going to introduce I think he's just called Speed, right? His brother, like his super
they introduced him very subtly. Some kid was being drowned. It is so dark. It is so dark. So these bullies are drowning a child.
Love the grayness too, because it's like, well, in his case, it looked like a pretty safe bet. It's like, oh well, the kid's dead already. When he took over the other guys, by. But in this case, it's like I love the both Wiccans, like his like horror at like what he's doing. The fact that he has more of a more opposition to it than Wanda had when she was doing kind of similar dubious magic stuff. But then also no, I love the way it's handled, the way it's shot. In fact, we just get like little glimpses of it. The fact that Agatha It's a great moment for Agatha too, in a way too, because the fact that like she was taking her chance to get her power back, escape, like she was letting that go just to help this guy.
Yeah, she was being unselfish for a moment, even if it was ultimately in service of her own selfishness. You know,
it's funny how so far this is probably the. I mean, it makes sense because of the way episodes so far, but it is funny how Agatha's been like the character we've been talking about the least so far.
Well, I think it's fair to keep in mind that I don't think this is actually an Agatha show. I think the show might be called Agatha All Along. This is a Wiccan show.
I think it's very debatable. It's
with the last episode, it becomes more flimsy to claim that.
It's very much her thing. The last episode, but a fair argument nonetheless.
Which you want to get into this last episode?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Maiden, Mother, Crone. The first half of this episode, matter of fact, I feel like 65% of this episode is just a flashback of Agatha raising her son. And how much she clearly cared about being a good mother, even though she was still being selfish and evil. Clearly, she had some deal with death. She raises her son, killing witches for powers. They create a children's song that eventually becomes the Ballad of the Witch's Road. And Nick grows sick. Death takes him. And then Agatha spends the next couple of centuries using the song her son helped create to murder and steal witches' powers. Which kind of ties into something. I don't know if I brought this up on the last episode or not, how I think there was going to be revealed that Agatha invented the road. Kind of true. She invented the concept of the road. Billy actually made it.
He made the con, he made it real.
Yeah. We should focus on the flashback stuff before we move on to the rest of the episode. But no, go ahead, Rein.
Another thing, one like tiny micro thing I wanted to mention about the previous
episode 8, yeah.
I liked the detail of how the speed, he didn't just appear the same way Billy appeared. Billy had to actually make him appear, like, so, which adds like a lot of I think that's something I really need to ask, a little detail, important detail that I just thought we should mention real quick, or I just wanted to bring out real quick as something I appreciated.
That's fair. I get that.
One dead kid to another dead kid.
Yeah, Nicholas. It's really incredibly well done. It's a great little thing about her raising her son. And it kind of chokes you up a bit when she loses him.
There's a good chance it's just recency bias, but it might be the second strongest episode of the season.
I would agree.
Or at least maybe it's just a flashback. I don't know. But
the Wiccan flashback episode was also great. So
yeah, maybe it's the third best. I like this whole. I didn't put too much stock into the idea that she just made all that was just something she made up. But it all really works, once it's all been laid out. I guess I don't know. I feel like the show could have done more. It doesn't really do too much to explain like why she's just so like she's like very quick to like feel fine about like murdering seemingly innocent people, witches and all these seemingly innocent witches. I guess maybe it doesn't need an explanation.
She's been doing that from the start, I think, starting with when her coven betrayed her. She felt like she was better off on her own, I think, is ultimately what it is.
I'm not trying to sound too much like a more like how can we have a show about a murder? How can that be the protagonist? We can't to like.
Sorry, Rein, I didn't know you were so woke.
Cancel murderers.
Cancel murderer is canceled. Cancer. What the fuck? How the hell did I pronounce canceled wrong?
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't need an explanation. It might have been more satisfying if that tied in with her, kind of it tied in somewhat with like a negative character arc, and so just being a thing about her. But maybe splitting hairs. I think yeah, the idea that the whole song itself came from this little soccer kid saying that's like just a great little touch. Um, yeah, no, I don't. Everything with the flashback is solid. I pretty much, but I don't. If there's too much, I feel like it's the sort of thing. There's only so much you can say about it. Maybe I don't know if I have too much to say about it.
No,
Now that I'm
it's
actually
just
trying to say something about
it's
it.
really well done. It's great. It's great. It's simply
It's
great.
touching.
It's touching. It's sweet. And then you go back to the present. Agatha's a ghost now, and Billy's confronted with the fact that he's blaming himself for the deaths of Lilia, Alice, and Sharon. And I'll just say it, Rein. I was wrong. These characters stayed dead. I was so confident they were going to get brought back to life at the end. Nope, they're dead.
Oh, well, you were saying it seemed pretty. Yeah, no, I think that was very plausible, if not more likely than not. But I like this, and also I guess to tie into the thing where like having a character whose integral aspect of them is being being a passing the torch story character. I do think it's I think it's just very interesting to see how different how different Billy responds to casualties from his actions. Where not you can I'm not gonna I don't think he needs to be arrested for this stuff, but I think the fact that he handles it with so much more weight than his mom, I think that's like an interesting thing to witness. Okay, I'm running out of gas there with that thought.
You're fine. It's well done. And Agatha, Billy tries to banish Agatha, and Agatha's like, no, I can't face my son in the afterlife. Billy's like, all right. And then Agatha's like, well, let's find your brother. And that's how the show ends. I don't know what show was going to pick up this plot. Maybe Vision Quest will. Which would make the Return of Ultron in that show apparently even funnier, is if like Billy and Ghost Agatha's also there. Marvel, I can't fucking believe that Agatha All Along is one of the best MCU shows. When go back to the first vidcast of this series, Rein. I was like, yeah, whatever. This show is okay. It's fine enough. It's pretty good, I guess. We were both kind of I basically had to be like, every time I told you we were doing this vidcast, I was like, I'm gonna make you do this, Rein. And Rein's like, okay. And then it was great.
No, it's good. Yeah, no, the first few episodes they were good, but they weren't about as good as most Marvel stuff is, which is say good, but not thing that will you need to watch absolutely or whatever. But I had a thought, and it's escaping me.
Once the show hit the ground running, once it hit episode 4 onward, it was like, oh, this is great.
Remember now, it's it is yeah, very much one of those examples of if the fact that it's just an Agatha show is the reason it was. I'm not saying this is the number one reason or one of the biggest reasons, but I wonder if one of the reasons it was able to be as good as it was is because it was just Agatha. It was not an Avengers movie. It was not one of the top things where it's there wasn't going to be as many eyes on this as there would be for one of the bigger projects, which gave the creators more freedom. And then it reminds me a lot of I guess the most analogous thing that comes to mind for me would be Andor, where that Andor stands as far as Star Wars media goes. Where
it's not really a super main character. It's not crucial to the
it's
overall
just
fabric. It's just a little thing.
But that ends up being one of the strongest things in that franchise.
Which begs the question, is that maybe what the show should be? Should Moon Knight have been a movie? Maybe. Should Miss Marvel had been a movie? Maybe. Should Falcon and the Winter Soldier have been a movie? Something. You know what I mean?
Either that or some retooling to make it a proper TV show. Because, I don't know, I would feel bad because, for example, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, my favorite parts of I think I might dislike that show more than I like it. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. The stuff I did really like about that show were the slower, more character stuff when it was
Sam Wilson got denied a bank loan?
stuff like that. Bucky's mental health and like him trying to like atone to people. That stuff was, in my opinion, the best stuff of the show. But like that's the sort of thing that you realistically are only going to get probably through. You're much more likely to get through a show than you would be through a movie.
Yeah, there needs more action, pew pew. Which I thought Falcon and the Winter Soldier had good action, pew pew. I thought it had some of the best action of any of these Marvel shows.
Actually, yeah, no, I did like. I know that I did really like the way they incorporated Falcon's like wings and the shield in combat. The fight,
that was great.
But
also the Captain America suit was great. I can't believe they're not putting it in the fucking movie.
Yeah, that might be. No, we're on a tangent, but fuck it. Probably top 5 superhero suits for the MCU.
It's so good. And you know why it's so good? It's pretty much ripped directly out of the comic. Wow. Turns out the comic artists know what the fuck they're doing.
One complaint I will have about, I don't even care we're transitioning. Fuck it. The one thing I do
You're editing this.
I think any character as I don't what the hairless cowl where like the cowl is exposed for the person's hair. The person has to have a really cool haircut to justify it, or like at least like something like visible and loud. If you're just gonna have a normal man haircut, you're not allowed to have that type of cowl, which is the only complaint I would levy to that suit.
Are you saying that Anthony Mackie should like grow an afro or something?
You should do something. You should have
mullet. It should be a mullet.
I mean, yeah, it should be a loud haircut. It should be something like in your face to justify not having it covered up. That's my only complaint about that suit. Speaking of suits, I don't got anything.
Agatha All Along was great. Agatha All Along was great. I would say if we were ranking seasons of Marvel television, I would say it's season 1 of Loki. I still think is a cut above it all, and then this show, and then either season 2 of Loki or Hawkeye. I would say, or maybe Miss Marvel.
Those are very respectful opinions. I maybe feel like my the gap in season 1 and 2 for me of Loki is probably smaller for me than it sounds like it probably is for you. I think it would go season 1 of Loki. Maybe, man, that last episode of Loki season 2, I really maybe I'm adoring that one too much and laying it.
I will tell you that the finale of Loki is what really tied the season together for me. I'll just say it. I didn't get the chance to say this on a vidcast or something. My problem is that season 1 of Loki at its core is a romance story between Loki and Sylvie, and then season 2 of Loki seems determined to not acknowledge the fact that they are a thing. And then it only sort of comes back in the last episode. That's my big problem, is that Loki was a romance-focused show that dropped its romance in favor of more bromance with Owen Wilson that causes all these weird fucking shippers on the internet to be like, they're gay!
That's fair. Yeah, no, they should have... That's a good point. Well, damn, okay, yeah, now I think...
Did I just ruin season 2 of Loki for you?
I think Agatha would go in between those 2 seasons for me, quality-wise. And then, even though I think Moon Knight is weaker than, say... I think structurally and, like, I don't know, I think Hawkeye is better. I think you can argue She-Hulk might be better, but I think parts and all, I still maybe it's just because I love the character so much, especially in high school. But Moon Knight would then probably be number 4. Miss Marvel, I don't know. As time goes on, Miss Marvel's like an example of something where it's like this works because of like the lead performance, and then everything else is just like varying degrees of a lot less good. I think
that's fair. That's more than fair.
Miss Marvel and her supporting cast. Her supporting cast is solid. Like, the actual plot of the show is, I think, kind of doo-doo. And it's not... That is an example of one that should have stayed a show, but actually should have been structured like a real show instead.
Yeah, that's fair. We're just using this Agatha thing to talk about our grievances with the previous era of Marvel Studios television.
Well, to be fair, when something's like really really good or really really bad, those can be kind of quicker to like go through, I guess. Because Agatha's really really good. I feel like it's kind of easy to just like quickly go through, whereas something that's like a mixed bag. But anyway, I realize it's been like 40 minutes. Well, I
You're
guess I
editing
am
this.
ready to start wrapping up.
All right.
I'm ready to start wrapping up.
Let's wrap it up. I'll say that this was a great season of television, and if this is what the future of Marvel TV looks like, if they're letting actual showrunners do this, I'm really excited.
It is everything I think you could want for something like this, whereas both works as a good continuation of other people's stories of other characters in this universe's stories, but also a good jumping off point where you don't really need to know that much. You could to still enjoy it and get a lot out of it. It's a good, great singular story, great continuation of other stories, and then I know there's it's just solid altogether. I think this is probably, like I said earlier, maybe too optimistic, but I want to believe that this is like a sign of like even better things to come, like that they got a good formula down for how they can make good stories, and that this continues.
I can't fucking wait for Wonder Man. Wonder Man heads rise up. And you know who is a Wonder Man head? You, the person watching slash listening to this episode, the volume of Bomb Squad All Along. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're listening on any of the audio platforms, leave a review. If you're doing that, how about you mosey on down over to our Patreon? $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks. The $10 tier gets you access to a shout out. Shout out Jason Secord. Shout out Tanya Craft. Thank you so much for giving us $10 a month. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Rein edited this very good, I'm sure. How about you
Have anything to say? Continue.
mosey down to the comment section below and let us know. What do you think of Agatha All Along? What was your favorite episode of the show? How would you rank it among the larger Marvel television canon? And finally, Wonder Man. Can't fucking wait, am I right? Comment below and let us know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. And hit the bell icon so you can know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
They slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."